The multi-flow map represents...
Cause and effect.
Good. So this bridge map is talking about things being represented. It's all maths, but I changed it and you can carry it on. Okay? This bridge map done by Melissa, the relating factor here is a better word. Is a better word. Now I would suggest it needs to be is a better word than, okay, or is a better word for. So it probably needs just one more. You'll see what I mean. Because they put jagged is a better word than sharp. So it needs to be than or, for. So jagged is a better word than sharp. Now whether it's a better word, that's up for debate. Okay, but it's certainly, perhaps a more complex word for a student who may be 8 or 9 years old. Just as curious is a better word than strange. Just as scream is a better word than shout. Just as cackle, I think that is. I can't see. I'm not sure. Maybe cackle, that's a better word than laugh. Murky is a better word than dark. So the teacher there is asking them to think about their language. What other thinking map focuses primarily on language? Talk to the person next to you. Which other thinking map, other than this one, really concentrates on the words? Really concentrates on it. Obviously, words are important in all of them, but one in particular focuses on key types of words. Okay, show me with your hands in 3. Which map you think is most important for language? Just keywords. 1, 2, 3. Show me. Oh, come on. Come on now. You can't have a couple of people putting their hands up. Do you remember yesterday, first slide, taking responsible risks? The worst thing in the world is that someone disagrees with you. You could still say, well, actually, I still think I'm right, and I can justify it. So let's try again, shall we? Which map do you think really concentrates on language, words? Show me after 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, if you're not willing to play, then I won't play with you. That's fine. I personally think, and it's a personal thing, that the bubble map, because it has to be adjectives. So it really focuses on words very much. But of course words are important in all of them. The circle map is really important. They're all up. Yeah, thank you for those that played along. Well done. There's an extra special prize for you. Not for the rest of them. Okay, good. So that's a really good example of trying to think about which word was better. So a really useful use of the bridge map. This time is part of. Leg is part of the body, just as wheel is part of the car, just as branch is part of the tree, just as leaf is part of the plant, just as letter is part of the word. Now I really like this map. It's a really good map. Thanks everybody. If you think about the previous ones, this was all about maths, graphs and what they represent. This one was all about words. This one is actually probably starts off as science, but what the teacher is encouraging thanks. What the teacher is encouraging is making the students to try and make relationships that they understand from their own world. So branch and tree is the same as leg as body, as is page in the book is part of, and the students can kind of go, oh yeah, so the leg's part of the body, well that's the same as a branch and a tree, oh I get it, I see it, I can understand it.
The great example of the brain as a pattern.
Yeah, Tony was saying about the idea of brain as a pattern detector yesterday. This is a brilliant example of that, making connections between lots of things. Now, remember one of our ground rules yesterday was, I always listen to you when you're talking. Can you listen to me when I'm talking? Thank you. So this time, the relating factor are a smaller part of the. So eyes is or are a smaller part of the head, just as toes are the smaller part of a foot, just as fingers are the smaller part of the hand, just as knee is the smaller part of. So this time the teacher has started them off and started then to put in blanks or question marks. And that's a good way of playing a game with the students. You might have left out that one blank and get students to fill in the blanks to introduce. The bridge map is a really, really good way of doing it. So it's not a particularly complex bridge map, but what I like about it is the idea of the teacher starting to ask questions, or even the students to leave them blank and then pass them to another table or to a friend to see if they can work it out. That's a really nice thing to do. Now this one combines a bridge map and a bubble map. A bubble map has happened before this, and you'll see why. Is the colour of, is the relating factor. Notice it always goes at the start so you know how to read it. Red is a strawberry in a big strawberry patch, just as gold is a Catherine wheel on bonfire night, just as dark blue is the midnight sky before the fireworks exploded. So rather than just saying red is the colour of a strawberry, gold is the colour of a Catherine wheel, they've tried to extend it and ask them to be more descriptive in their language. So it's a really nice example of just extending that idea and not only seeing the analogy, but also trying to describe it and be more rich in their language. And notice this is actually a big display. And what I love about it is the teacher has put the person's name. So every student has ownership. Every student is celebrated on that board because they've all come up with an example. Okay? So